Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling tune-up Tuesday. It is Tuesday, isn't it? Yes, it's Tuesday. You say the sudden thought as I went live, is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday? Yes, but it's Tuesday. Oh my gosh, what a day, what a day. I've been tuning in and tuning up, and it's been awesome. And Zeffy is on patrol because Amazon's supposed to be delivering an order. I thought I had my kitchen scales here with me in the RV, but I can't find them anywhere. And my kitchen scales are just meant for the food things because I have started a new healthy program. I'm not going to say much about it now, but today was day 2. And I couldn't do much of day 1 because I didn't have my scales. And I was turning the RV upside down. I thought maybe I just left them in a box in storage. So waiting for Amazon. They said it would be here today by 10 p.m. Then I got all excited because it said it would be delivered between 11:45 and 2:45 and never showed. And then went back. It's still going to arrive before 10 p.m. Now it said, hang on. Now it says, I haven't done an update. Still arriving by 10 p.m. Yes, and they have a refill on my protein powder in there as well. And some of you are going to look at me going, you're getting protein powder through Amazon? Yes, I am right now because I cannot find a direct sale or a network marketing company that has a really good non-whey vegan slash vegetarian protein powder that I like. There was one company that had a really, really cool one that was really yummy and everything else, and they no longer make it. So I'm just sort of like having to fall back on one that I used before I started trying different ones in the network marketing space. And I have tried a lot. And my big thing is I can't do whey. So it has to be a vegetarian slash vegan protein powder. And I have yet to find one that I like. And it has to be chocolate flavor. Although the one that I did like was actually vanilla. And it was yummy. It's one of the best ones I've ever had. So right now I'm having to get it through Amazon because I can't find a direct seller or a network marketing company that has a decent tasting protein powder. They're all gritty. All the ones I've tried are gritty, and I'm just like, yeah, no. And they don't have. They say they're chocolate, but there's no real chocolate flavor, and then they have a weird aftertaste. So I'm still looking. I'm still trying because I love my protein powders. I really do, but I can't do anything with whey in. So if you go, oh, I've got one, and it's got whey in it, don't bother. Can't do whey. So it's yeah. But we're on to day 2 and doing fine. Day one was a real mess. I didn't have breakfast till like 10 o'clock in the morning. I mean, it's got this plan laid out. It has this rough plan laid out, like 8 a.m. do this, then you have a snack, then at 12 noon you do this, and then you have a snack, and then around 6 p.m. you have dinner. Yeah, that day 1, I think I got half of my food eaten that day. Today, am I on track yet? I had breakfast at 10 instead of 7. But of course, at 7 o'clock, that's when I walk Zeffy. So I've already told them that. So, did I have my snack? Yes, I did have my snack. That was like around 1. Lunch, which was broccoli sauce and chicken white meat. I think I had that at 3. My snack is cashews and strawberries. I haven't had that yet. I substituted the strawberries for mixed nuts, and I've got a nut mixture without peanuts in it. I've had that, but I just haven't done the strawberries yet. And for dinner tonight, which is meant to be at 6 p.m., yeah, that was an hour ago. Yeah, we've got to go walk Zeffy first. But dessert, I get to have a dark chocolate bar. Oh, super excited. And I have these really cool dark chocolate discs that are about this big and they're about this thick. And the cool part about those is that I get to have 3 of those discs because they tell me what calorie content they want, what they give me like all the macros, the calories, the fat, the protein, and all of that sort of stuff, and I can have 3. And I usually only eat 1 of these discs at a time, and so this is completely customized based on what I can eat and what I won't eat, and what I can't eat. And the can't eats are the allergies, And the won't eats are just sort of like, you put that on my plate, I ain't eating it. So it's working with the foods that you like, which is kind of cool. And I just told them, I have to have my dark chocolate every day, and these dark chocolate discs are 85% cacao, and really yummy. No sweetener in them. For those that are they sweetened, I think they might actually might have a bit of monk fruit in them. I think. I'm trying to remember now. And I think no, they are unsweetened. So it's 85% cacao, and they're really yummy. And I only just do one disc a day, and on this plant I can have 3 to equal the calories, the fat, and the other macros that they want me to meet, the proteins and the carbohydrates. And it's just sort of like, I can have 3. I only ever have 1. So I'm sort of like, okay, so I get to have a couple more throughout the, maybe if I spread it throughout the day, but then it's sort of like, I only need 1 piece of chocolate a day and usually I do it in the morning. Sometimes I'll do it in the evening, but usually it's in the morning. So I'm going to have to work on that one. But I'm going to try this plan out, see how it goes before I tell you what it is or anything like that. So please don't ask, because I'm not going to tell you. But it's Tune Up Tuesday, and I knew I had 2 packages waiting for me. So you like surprises? I like. My day got shaken up a little bit. It was a little crazy. I kind of felt like I was on Shake It Up Saturday instead of Tune Up Tuesday. But then I thought, Tune Up Tuesday is all about breakdowns and breakthroughs and making tweaks and changes and that. We'll go with the flow. And I already knew I had 2 packages waiting for me because they came in on Friday after I had cleared my mailbox. They came in like an hour later or something. And so I knew those 2 packages were sitting there. Well, then I got notifications there was another 3 packages arrived. And I thought, okay, that's my subscription order that's come in. But why is there 3? Because usually it's only in 1 or 2 boxes. And when I got there, they had actually split it over 3 boxes. And I was like, okay. But when I went to empty my mailbox, I haven't got into it yet, but there was a stack of cards here. Yes, a stack of cards here for me. I got 4 boxes. I did not know what they were. They were all surprises, and I've taken pictures of them, and I totally forgot to bring them all over here with me. But 3 of them were half birthday cards with, I got, let's see, a white macadamia nut cookie. Actually, I got 2 of those, and a blondie. And then I got a bag of sea salt caramels. And I was like, oh, these are really good. And it had this really cute note on there saying, thank you for being sweet. And I'm just like, how awesome. How sweet is that? That was really awesome. So 4 boxes were a surprise. 4 boxes were a surprise. The others, and there was actually 9 boxes there when I got there. I pulled out all these slips and I'm like, this is more than 6. And I'm like thinking, because I thought there's one that I didn't know, because I figured out that 3 of them, maybe for my order, they may have split into 3 packages. If not, then I had some surprises coming. But when I got there, there was 9 slips for 9 packages. And I already knew there was going to be 6. And I knew one of them was going to be a little on the heavy side because it's got liquid in it. And so I got to the back of my car and I pulled out my little pink wagon and left it folded up, didn't unfold it till I got inside, and went to my box, and there's 9 slips there for packages. I'm like, 9? I was only expecting 6 because I'd only got notification for 6. 4 from today, 2 from Friday. I can do my math. I was about to say 2 and 6 is 4. Yeah, 2 and 6 is 4, depending which way you use the numbers. So I found 6 packages. So I thought, well, one of them is definitely going to be heavy. And as soon as I did not get a park out front the door, I'm like, that's it. I'm taking my pink wagon in with me. So I took my pink wagon in there with me and had it folded up until they took the slips back to get the packages and stuff. Then I unfolded it, and the guy, one of the guys behind the counter says, "You've come prepared." I says, "Oh yeah." I said, "I know one of those boxes is going to be a little on the heavy side and and I said, "No, I was only expecting 6 packages and now there's 9." I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the other 4, I don't know what the other 3 are. But so there was 4 surprise boxes, which were nice. I loved that. And so I put them in. And then I had the other 5 boxes in there. And then I had, and I also had my pile of cards as well. So they got tucked down the side of the wagon. And I wish I had taken a picture of it because my little wagon was full. It was all level across the top there, but it was full. There wasn't stuff sitting on top of anything else, but just the base of it was all full. And people just looked at me a little strange, going, well, that's such a stupid idea. And I wheeled off down to my car where it was parked down some row somewhere, and got it all unpacked and everything else, and got here and stacked it all up in front of the door, and then opened the door, and Zeffie's like, and I opened up the door, and I hadn't opened up the screen door yet, and so she's up with her paws in the window, in the little window area on the screen door where the handle goes. And so she's there with her paws and her nose poking out. I says, well, I can't come in if you're going to sit there, I can't come in. And so she kind of like thought about it for a second and then popped back again. But then I opened up the screen door and just started pulling everything in. So yeah, it turned out that so out of my 6 packages, 5 I knew, and then there were the 4 surprises. So you gonna come say hi? Come on, you can come up. She came up and sat next to me earlier on today. It was really sweet. She doesn't do it that often. So yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised today. So that was my little surprise. I got stuck in this morning. I don't know what the hell happened to me this morning. I was a whirlwind this morning. I was a mess. I was doing several things at once, but yet I got a lot of productivity done. Like a lot of stuff on my to-do list wiped out. So I was sort of like, man, I was tuned in and tuned up, and we were just flying on all cylinders this morning. And I had a great connection with a fellow polka dot who we've connected once before, so this was kind of like a catch up, and it was really cool catching up with Karen again, and we had a blast for like, and I actually put my timer on for 30 minutes. I said I have to put my timer on because I was actually doing it during my lunch hour, so I didn't want to be late, and I had stuff that I had to do before I got on the chat this afternoon. And so the thing went off, and I think we spoke for another 5 minutes afterwards. So it wasn't too bad. We kept close to the 30 minutes, and but it was a lot of fun, and enjoyed that. And then got on the chat and got stuck in there and got stuff done. And because we were closed yesterday, but we were monitoring. So there were some chats that came in yesterday that we didn't do anything with until today. So I got stuck in and got those taken care of, plus the ones that were coming in. So it was not a overly busy day today on the chat, but it was steady at times. Like I didn't have a lot of calls coming in at once. It was sort of like just one after the other. You'd finish one and another one would come in, or come in just before you finished, or just after you'd finished. So there wasn't a lot of downtime. I felt like it was a steady day today. So I was just in the zone. So it was a lot of fun. And then had to go pick up my mail, and of course, and that was definitely fun. It's always fun going and getting the mail. You never know what's going to be there. You know some of the stuff is going to be there because you've ordered it, or it's a subscription service that you get, so you know what stuff's going to be there. And then you get the stuff that you don't know about, and that's where the fun comes in. But so got tuned in and tuned up today, where I was just rocking it. A lot of my to-do list, like I said, gone. Stuff that I was planning to do later this week, done. I don't know what the heck, and I'm only on day 2 of this new plan, that I'm trying out, and I don't know. Can't be that yet. Can't be that effective yet. But I was tuned in and tuned up and rocking it, and I was just amazed at how much stuff I got off my to-do list. Even stuff that I had scheduled for Thursday or Friday is done. But I had plenty to do, because somebody said, like, how do you keep up with everything? I said, well, I put it in my calendar, but I'm also not, I don't always hold steadfast to the calendar, because I'm very shiny object syndrome. Oh, look, there's a squirrel over there. Oh, there's Zeffie, type of thing. Okay. Oh, if you were not watching Networking Riches a couple of weeks ago, this was the funniest thing, because Casey squirrels at a good pace, and there's a lot of golden nuggets in the squirrel moments. If you've ever heard speakers and they suddenly they go off on a tangent or anything else, it's called a squirrel moment. So Casey's standing there talking to us, and he starts laughing, and he says they had the door open to his studio, and there was a little squirrel sitting outside the studio door. And he's talking about the squirrel that's sitting outside the studio door. I was cracking up laughing, because squirreling is one of my favorite parts of anybody giving a topic when they go off on a tangent and they have a squirrel moment. Because a lot of times you pick up some really, really good golden nuggets of information, or wisdom during that time, or you learn something that you wouldn't have learned had they just been on topic, on point all the time. And but it was funny because and he starts talking about the squirrel that's outside the door that he can see. So yes, sometimes real squirrels do cause squirrel moments for speakers and things. But yeah, so I was very focused today. It was like, wow. I was trying to think, can't be change in eating because that's only just happened. I did have to pull my Vitamix out this morning. And that surprised me because I did have to pull my Vitamix out this morning to make my. It was really yummy. It was this smoothie, and it had no protein powder in it. It had I put spinach, macronutrients, flaxseed, avocado, frozen pineapple, coconut milk, coconut water. I think that was it. Oh, and half a lemon. Half a lemon, that was the other one. I was trying to think there was one more. Half a lemon. That was really, really good. And so it had no protein powder. It was just the vegetables and the fruits mixed in together. The pineapple, the sweetness of the pineapple balanced the bitterness, the sourness of the lemon quite nicely. It took ages to drink it. It was thick. It was one of those nice thick smoothies that I absolutely love at times. And that took a long time to get to drink that because it was so thick and it's really yummy. And you couldn't glug it. You couldn't gulp it down. It was moving too slow to gulp it down. Some smoothies, when they get a little runny, you can drink them a little faster, but not this one. It was drinking it at the same pace it was moving down the glass when you tip the glass up to come down, and you just wait. And then it'll get close to the edge, and then you put your mouth over the glass. But so I actually had to get my Vitamix out today for that one. And as soon as I saw the ingredients in there, I thought that ain't going to fit in my little personal thing. That's going to have to be a Vitamix one. So maybe the next one I've got different shakes and smoothies. I told them I love smoothies. So I have another smoothie coming up, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that in the personal one or if I'm going to have to pull the Vitamix out again. So, but I do have to go pull the air fryer is going to get used for dinner tonight, and what's the other thing that's going to get used? My Instapot's going to get used at some point as well, and I'm going to have to cook up some more eggs. Actually, no, I think I have enough eggs for tomorrow. Yeah, so it's kind of like and they sort of even in the instructions for the smoothie I did this morning, they said prep 2 to 3 days beforehand. This is what you need to do, and you need to slice up this avocado, half an avocado, and put it in the bottom of a freezer bag. Then you put the greens in on top, and then you do this and and you stick it all in the freezer. And then about 15 to 20 minutes before you want to make your smoothie, you take it out and just let it sit on the counter and thaw out for a bit, and then then they tell you what order to take stuff out of the bag and to put into the thing. And like the avocado and the pineapple is the last thing that goes into. You actually put everything in there except the pineapple and the avocado, and then you whip everything up, make sure there's no little green things in there. And green things, I mean like bits of leaf that they've all been mashed up, smoothed up, whatever, chopped up so fine you can't taste them, or you can taste them but you can't see them. You can't feel the lumps of them. And then you put in the avocado and the pineapple. Not this girl. And of course I'm like, well, I wish I'd read that earlier because I only got my frozen pineapple yesterday. But me, I just take all of it, throw it all in the Vitamix, turn it on. I don't know if their method will make it runnier, not as thick, or if it would still be as thick. But I thought, why do you not put that in there with that and do that? And yeah, so I just threw everything in there and blended it all. It was fine. It tasted yummy. Yeah, it took me 30 minutes to drink a 20-ounce glass. Yes, that would not have fitted. And when I'm looking at the ingredients in the Vitamix, there's no way it would fit in my personal one. So I have to see what the next smoothie brings. But now I know I've got to create these bags and freeze some of them so that they're ready. And there's some other prep work I can do. But yesterday I took the big container of spinach and broke it down into different containers. So when I needed spinach today for my smoothie, I could just go in and grab, there's a cup, and just dump that container in there. And so You never know. But I want my scales so I can start making, instead of having to eyeball things and guess weights, so I can do my weight measurements and stuff, because I'm pretty sure I'm under eating what I need to be eating. Because I go, yeah, okay, they say 4 ounces looks like this, that kind of looks like that, or it might be a little much, so I'll just take a little bit off. And yes, I'm pretty sure I'm under eating. I'm supposed to be eating, but we'll see how it goes. I just wish my scales would hurry up and arrive. So what have you guys done today that has helped you tuned up and tune in and get you out there and everything else, and keep those business dreams and goals moving, keep your steps going? And like I said, somebody asked me today, how is it I get so much done? And I said, well, I have everything scheduled onto the calendar to start with. And then I have my to-do list of things I want to get done for different business entities and that sort of thing, and the different businesses and stuff. And I just take one of them, work on it, get that project done, and then move on to the next one. And it could be with a different thing. And I said, yeah, because sometimes if you're doing things over and over and over again, you sometimes get a little bored, which is like, and I said, but with me, it's not so much I get bored, it's sort of like a spark of an idea will come in for something else, and I write it down, get it out of the head, and but then I start thinking on it while I'm still working on this project over here, and now I'm start thinking of this project that's over here. And so you change them around and switch them around. I said there's certain times of the day when I'm working on certain things, and that's it. But then the other times of the day when I'm not doing those, anything goes. And so I said, so I'm working towards several business ideas at once. Not really multitasking, it's just selecting, prioritizing what are the most important ones, things that I have to do, and then some of it's just doing research on the internet, going and creating swipe files, of images of things that it's like creating a dream board. When you create a dream board, you go and you swipe, you rip pictures out of magazines, you download pictures off the internet and whatnot, and why are you? Oh no, we're not. I thought there might have been a van out there, but no. So I said, so I create my swipe files and stuff, and it could be that's what my project is. Just go put the timer on, spend 30 minutes researching, looking for photographs, and the ones that catch my eye, put them into a swipe file to go back at a later date, go through all those photographs again, and then say, yep, no, definitely not. Oh, it's still a maybe. That's a definite yes, and so I'll go through and sort them. So it's just taking those chunks of time. Oh, I've got 10 minutes here. Let's go do this, or let's go see if we can find some more pictures on whatever. Or I've got 10 minutes somewhere else, and it's sort of like, oh, let me just go and try that one thing. I know that one thing. What's this one? Let's go just try that one, follow that one thread that you thought about when you're finding somebody, when you're not trying to research somebody on genealogy, or you want to do a swipe and putting together an adventure before the Dirt Nap Adventures, thinking of, oh, maybe we could go do this, and so plugging it in there. I've got a spreadsheet, and it's got in there, different trips mapped out, and every now and again I'll go and go, oh, this will be a really good idea. So it's an idea list for different destinations. It'll be really good to go on the Chobe River and on the what's it called? Zambezi Queen, which is a 14-cabin riverboat, and you can watch the animals the wildlife come down to the shores in the evening to have drinks of water and stuff. I thought that would be really cool to do that on a safari one time. And so it's writing down these ideas of things that we could do, and then talking with specialists in the areas and saying, she's seen another dog out there. If that starts, she's seen another dog. If it was somebody who pulled up out front, she'll be running over here to tell me about it. Oh, you are running over here to tell me about it. What's going on? You want to go for your walk? I know. That's your walk. Look. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes or less. So you're going to get my shoes? Go get Mummy's shoes. I get that look like you're getting your own shoes. For 2.5 years, I've been training her every day. Go get mummy shoes. Go get mummy shoes. At minimum twice a day. At minimum twice a day. Sometimes we get to go out 3 or 4 times a day, but at minimum twice a day. She's already had 2 walks today. So we're going to be going out for our 3rd walk. And not once. She will go and sit near where they're kept. And someone says, well, who wants to put anything in your stinky shoes? I actually spray the inside of my shoes so you don't get the smelly feet thing. And I don't have a problem with smelly feet. I don't have that issue, but I spray my shoes anyway so they don't smell. Got the odor eater thingies in there. But anyway, so for the swipe files, coming up with different ideas of places to go and then starting to piece the itineraries together. So in one part of the spreadsheet, I've got these are all the ideas. Another part we start, let's put that one in there. Let's put this one in here. Maybe we could do this. And so there's all sorts of different things that are coming up in there, and finding out about new things when I talk to suppliers and stuff. I find out about some of the new stuff that's coming out, things that people haven't seen before or haven't experienced before, or some of those local things that tourists don't know about but the traveler loves. And so that's what we're piecing together. It's all for the traveler, so they get to experience the culture. Yes, you'll get to see some well-known sites as well. You'll get to do some crazy stuff too. But you will most importantly, get to experience the culture. And that's what we want. We want people to be able to experience the culture on a once-in-a-lifetime trip. There's also trips where we'll do family reunions where they go back to the countries that their ancestors came from and tour around the countries, around the areas where their ancestors were. So they get to see the places. They get to hear from locals the history of the area. So they can get some idea of what the times were like when their ancestors left that country. Why did they leave? Things like that. So unless they already know why the family left, hearing what times were like at the time, that may have forced the family to leave. So it's kind of interesting. But if I've got 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there, I'll just be on one of those swipe files or researching for swipe files online. And so I'm always working towards the ultimate goal, which is massive. But every day taking a step towards that massive goal, but just doing it one step at a time. And by tuning in and tuning up, we can make things a little easier. We can see where some of the holes are, and we can work on sealing those holes, not patching them, sealing them, so they have no chance to break again. But anyway, I got a pup that needs a walk. It's nice and cloudy this evening. It's still 107, I think it is. Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
Right now, it's 103 degrees Fahrenheit.
103.
Tonight, expect a low of 87 degrees.
Oh, we're getting to 87. That means 2 ACs tonight. Possibly 2 ACs overnight. Don't like that. I don't mind 1 because I can put the front one on. But 2, I'm still liking my AC fan with the ice, where we put the ice in the water in the top. That makes a big difference at night. It makes a huge difference. So glad we got that. But anyway, we are out of here. We're going to go take our walk. Did I get my shoes? Did I get my shoes, Zeffy? Get mummy's shoes. She stands there. Her ears are like this. Get mummy's shoes. No movement. Not even a sideways glance. Not even a twitch of the ears. Nothing. She just stands statue still. But anyway, go have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Tomorrow is Winning Wednesday. So think about your wins that you've had this week that you want to celebrate. You should be celebrating them as they occur. And we will catch up with you guys tomorrow for Winning Wednesday. Hey, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Hey, Konara.